Do you have everything? Are you comfortable where you are in your life right now? Well, maybe a little too comfortable. We think you're ready for this serious shit. What you really need is a good kick in the ass. Welcome to The Momo Show, starring Momo from TheMomoZone and controversial radio personality, Eric Remy.
Hi everybody, welcome to show number 6 of The Momo Show. This podcast was taped on Thursday, the 17th of September, 2009.
Subjects covered on The Momo Show will include, but will not be limited to, being comfortable with yourself alone, enjoying the silence. Money, it's not good or evil, it's what you do with it. Be fucking nice for once in your negative life. What the fuck are you talking about?
This is Eric Remy. I'm the devoted host of this new series of show called The Momo Show, aka the Kick-Ass Motivator, now offered around the world in audio podcasts on iTunes. Please keep an open mind while listening to The Momo Show if you want to feel the full benefits of being kicked in the ass by YouTube's #1 Kick-Ass Motivator himself. Momo, how was your week?
Oh, Eric.
A bit noisy out there, huh?
There's a lot of fucking noise, and I'll tell you what, dude. It's been the worst week of my life. I haven't slept. They've shut down. They're working on the street. They've pulled out the generators in the bottom of the street.
People are probably listening to it right now. They hear it somewhere.
Yeah, they can hear it in the background. But what's happened is they've dug up the street for the last 5 days. They shut off the power when the fuck they want. I'm in the middle of my work, and then bam, shut down. So I can't finish my work. I can't sleep because right next to my room, there's a bunch of guys punching all the bricks in the building, replacing them. And I shit you not, I opened up my eyes and there was a guy like looking at me like closer than I'm looking at you right now. So I haven't slept. I haven't fucking been able to get any work done. And I got to tell you, I'm fucking cranky and fucked up.
It's okay, but at least you're there to do the show.
Yeah, hey, the show must go on.
That's what they say. And let's now put the booster rockets on.
Ooh.
You are listening to The Momo Show, and this is In Your Face.
This segment called In Your Face is made to discuss serious subject in a positive, no bullshit way. In your face. First topic.
Being comfortable with yourself alone, enjoying the silence.
I'm sorry, I'm cracking up because you haven't had silence for a couple of days and you look actually pretty washed.
Well, the only time I have silence is when they shut off all the fucking power on my ass and I'm sitting here in the total dark. Now I've got flashlights, I know where they are. And lucky for me, I'm a gear pig. So I've got all kinds of stuff that runs on batteries. And let me tell you, even if the power goes out, I can get on the internet, I can check out computers. I've got amplifiers that work on batteries that sound great.
It's a very important topic, being comfortable with yourself and enjoying the silence.
As much as I like to communicate with people, I truly do enjoy being alone. I spend a lot of time by myself, even though I'm always with Creela and I hang out with you and I do a lot of stuff. I'm alone by myself in this studio a lot of time and late at night, and I reflect and I get to see all kinds of things and ponder on ideas. And to me, it's one of the best things. I enjoy it a lot. You know, it doesn't mean that you got to be with people all the time. Some people are addicted to being around people all the time because maybe they don't want to think, you know.
Don't want to hear what's going in their head.
Yeah, it's a way of kind of, locking yourself down and dulling out the true feelings of dealing. Or you can use it as inspiration, provided that, you're a kind of a research guy.
The sound of silence is very important.
Very important. When you sit there for 1 second and you try and listen to silence, you're going to freak out. There almost isn't any.
Never, ever. It's true. There's always an appliance or something or a car or even a bird can do some noise. So there's never, ever complete silence around us.
When we went to Death Valley a few years ago, that was the first time in my whole life I discovered silence. It was so quiet out there that it actually scared us. I shit you not, dude. You could hear, like we saw eagles flying by, right? And as they fly by you, you hear the flutter of the wings. And it's like all of a sudden you can taste, smell, and see things for the very first time,
What someone should do if they have problem living in that silence and enjoying themselves.
Silence, I think, can get mistaken for boredom, maybe. You're in silence, you got no real thoughts in your head. I don't know. Silence, for me, is amazing. The only other place you're going to experience true silence is when you're dead. So while you're here, you might as well enjoy things. And, silence, enjoying the silence, I think it really means take time for yourself. yourself. Take time to figure out what you want, who you are, and what you'd like to do and where you'd like to go.
Don't avoid what's going in your head when you're in silence. Hear it. It's your little inner voice most of the times.
That's amazing that you're talking about that inner voice, because the inner voice really tells you amazing stuff, right? I've done stuff like I practice with my inner voice. When I used to train people, for music, for singing, for coaching, look into my eyes and in your head, smile. Talk to me nicely. Okay, now just stare at me. Now, as you're talking to me, yell in your head like fucking bloody murder. The opposite of what you feel. But talk to me and smile like this, right?
I'm trying to do it at the same time. It's hard.
It's very hard. But what that does is it separates, right, your brain thoughts, and it permits you to really get a deeper understanding of what is actually going on in your mind. Sometimes my mind even does stuff to bug me. I don't know whether this ever happened to you. Like it says something to you over and over again, and then you tell it, shut up, don't say that to me. And then it
comes back all the time.
To bug you.
Or it's a song that you have in your head that you cannot get rid of.
Oof, that's happened to me for weeks at a time, man. I open up my eyes, I go for that, that 4 o'clock in the morning piss where you're just kind of walking with half asleep and you go to the bowl and the song is still fucking looping and you're saying to yourself, man, I can't believe this shit is happening to me.
And you know what's worse? It's when it's commercial music. Like these things you see on TV or hear on radio.
Dude, it's really...
These jingles, you have it in your head and it doesn't go out.
You know how you get that out of your head? You change the lyrics. You put the rudest, weirdest lyric and all of a sudden you kill that song in your head.
Okay, so let's synthesize this. If I cannot be alone or if I don't like silence, I have to do something. There's something wrong with me, for sure.
Look, taking time for yourself is important. Something I am still learning at this age because I do not know how to stop, and neither you for that matter.
Well, actually not. I'm better at it.
I rephrase that. You're actually much better than I am at that, and I'm learning from you. The more we hang out together, the more I'm learning. You've changed my life in a couple of ways, I think, recently, and, I'm going to thank you for that, but I'm going to learn to take the silence, appreciate it in a different way. But being alone, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Being by yourself is one of the most important things, because if you can't live with yourself, then you can't live with anybody else.
True. That was exactly that moment I felt, because I was alone for a year and a half, when I felt inside myself that I was comfortable alone. This is when I knew I could be comfortable with someone else.
Because until that happens, guys, everybody else's problem is your problem.
Let's go for the next topic.
Money. It's not good or evil. It's what you do with it.
Actually, you can do a lot of good things with money.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, I think they're afraid of money. They hang on to it. They don't want to spend it, or they want to overspend it.
Or they don't make any money.
I believe that you need to spend money on exactly what it is you want to do. And then it comes. The tools. That, for me, that's what you got to do with money. My typical story is I took my last money that I had when I was having my worst part. I was my worst breakdown. And I looked at Krila and myself and said, I'm doing videos, you're doing photography. That was 5 years ago. Look what's happened.
So you use, even if you have that fear in you, that money, and it will bring positive in your life?
As long as it's part of the tools that you need. What do people do with money? What the fuck do you need money for? For survival, to pay your bills, to live, right? So be careful what you wish for, because you might have it. So you're in a jam, you want something, spend your money on the right stuff. I buy a lot of stuff that some people would say is maybe useless. But for me, it's a tool that permits me to create.
But if I have not much money in my bank account, should I spend it on something?
Well, look, you got to be careful, because there might be other people involved. If you have a family, if you have kids, part of it might have to do with, living, rent, food, etc. Okay, that could be a problem. But if you do have some money saved up and a bit of money that you could spend on something to take you in that direction, well, I could tell you that if I had a choice between taking a vacation or spending money on a new piece of gear that could make me so much money that I could have lots of vacations, then I would pick that one.
You never take vacations, man.
No, I know, and I try and make my vacations part of my work, so I lie to myself that I'm having a vacation. But you know what I'm talking about, though?
I know.
It's like you have to make a decision. If you're totally broke and you have no money, then your priority is to survive, to eat, and to have a roof over your head.
True.
But after that, a middle average person that's got a bit of money saved up and they want to take a change and they want to make it, a change in their life. Well, figure out what it is and go ahead and invest in it. That's what I did, and that's what worked for me. It gave me my total fucking freedom. I took the last money I had.
But a lot of people have fear with this. They fear to lack money, to be broke, to lose everything.
You know what? I can completely understand that, especially in these recessionary times that are happening right now.
Hard times right now.
But I'm going to tell you, it's like manifestation. Once you understand that you're not afraid of money and you work hard at the thing that you want, it will come to you. You also got to plan it. If you don't plan it and it doesn't suit your lifestyle, what it is you want to do, where you want to be, how you want to do it, then it can't last. For instance, you're broke, you're at home, you have a wife, you have kids. You have a choice. I would plan, how do I stay close to my wife and kids to make that money and make it happen, as opposed to how to travel 3 hours a day one way, 3 hours a day another way to come back, never see my kids and have a miserable life just to make that money. It's a choice. That to me is a bad choice because you're going just for the money. That's survival. You're forgetting about the future. The future is suffer a little more, invest in the right thing, and change your life so you have constant income and you have freedom. These days, working out of your home has become so amazing, so cost effective that you could fix your problems out there.
If I work on a chain...
an assembly line, you mean?
An assembly line. I cannot bring my work home.
No, but if you work on an assembly line, chances are you're making money, and you do not work on an assembly line because it was your fantasy to work on an assembly line. So that to me is a temporary situation. But what do? At the end of the night, do you hang out with your buddies from the assembly line and just party and drink it down your fucking liver and piss it out in the morning?
It could be fun.
That's not fun to me. I've said it on many of my shows. To me, I think money is there to be invested into things to forward your future, the tools that you need in order to secure your independence. Without that, you're fucked. You're always going to need,
you're going to be dependent on it.
You're going to be dependent. Yeah. Even if you're a writer, right? Where's your writing tools? Where's your internet tools? Where's all your shit? Everything you need to become independent. That's what, to me, don't be afraid of money means. You know what I mean?
What is money used as evil?
I mean, money used as evil is comes in many ways. People who spend money on war and, then you can always say, well, we have to protect ourselves. That's a debate that we're not really going to get into, but there's evil ways to spend money, and people are doing it all the time.
What about lottery tickets?
Lottery tickets. I mean, that's kind of like a poor man's gambling addiction, really. You know what I mean? It's a lot cheaper to go to the casino. That's a little chance. I do that every now and then, myself. Yeah.
I think it's a tax on poverty for most people.
What do you mean a tax on poverty?
Because the ones who usually have the dream to have a better life and have more money buy these tickets. Most of the time they're broke.
Yeah, you know what? You're 100% right. And that's part of the dream. That's the gift that you can get. And that's part, if you don't try, you won't get. Like my grandfather was obsessed with lottery tickets.
Oh, yeah?
To the point, dude, where he'd build machines and shit. He had
to predict numbers and stuff?
Dude, he had this kind of wheel of fortune he made that he'd spin around and he'd pick the numbers from that. He had this thing where he'd put the ball in and he'd move it around and it went to the number. He was seriously,
He never made it big.
He never won the big load, but he won some stuff. He's tried his whole life until he died. So
he had fun doing it.
He tried to get creative about it. But, look, money, especially these days, even with people who have a lot of it, is tight. Even people who have a lot of cash, they're hanging on to it and they want to be careful because we're in an unpredictable economical climate right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you got to be scared. The internet is there. You're hearing us on it right now, and it is there for you to turn into your business. With the money that you have, you get the parts, the tools necessary to operate right out of your own home, if that is what's necessary, and create your independence and your dream. Don't be afraid of the money. You need the money. I used to feel guilty about money, Eric. Every time I spent money, I said, fuck, did I really need that thing? And I felt so bad. Now, I don't give a shit. I say, if I'm buying something, it's because I want it, I'm going to use it, I need it, and if I can't use it, I'll sell it. I'm a smart buyer. You got to be smart. Sometimes, it's like leasing a car. You don't own that car, but every month you pay for it. But if you want to change that car, you can. You get another car, right? When you're buying stuff, if you smartly buy, you know that you can use that for a while, sell it for almost what you got it for or more sometimes. And what does that mean? You got the thing for free, you got the thrill, and you made some cash. That's what I do with all my gear. I pick quality stuff, vintage stuff, weird stuff that nobody has. I get it for a good deal, and I can sell it for twice as much and use it for free as long as I want.
I'm not rich enough to buy cheap stuff. That's why I buy good shoes, good pants, good shirts, because they last long.
Less is best. We've said that before. Yep. If the quality is up there, you know what I mean? And I think it's very important.
Be wise with your money, and money is going to be good to you.
It'll love you, dudes.
Next topic.
Be fucking nice for once in your negative life.
Be fucking nice for once in your negative life. How did you come up with that subject, that topic?
There's some people out there, I've had some experiences recently where some people, I don't know, man, no matter how nice you try and be to them, they just don't show no emotion. They're dead deadpan, cold, negative. They have nothing good to say about anybody. They're always bitching and fucking whining. I think you guys should try a different approach.
Well, these are very unhappy people for sure.
I know, but when you get to that point where you're so unhappy, you hate yourself. And if you can't take it anymore, you want to do something to fix it. You know what it is?
Yeah, but most people will lash it out on others.
Yeah, they'll lash it out on others. There's jealousy involved. There's envy. There's all kinds of subjects. But I'm telling you guys, try this. Be fucking nice. Say thank you. Help somebody cross the street. Hold the door open for somebody. Bring a fucking flower to someone who you've never brought a flower to before.
What you're saying is very old-fashioned, but people have forgotten to do these things.
Dude, we are the last gentlemen, and you know that.
We're not the last. I'm sure there's a lot of our listeners who are doing this.
Yeah, there are.
Those who don't, never forget these little attention and details.
Yeah, the details are very important. You know, it's what's created our success in our relationship. Thinking of other people in a positive way as opposed to always being negative. Just because you don't have what you want yet, maybe, it doesn't mean you got to be pissed off or freaked out at others. I mean, did you ever think that if you reversed it, right, that maybe that person could maybe help you figure it out?
Sure.
Inspire you to get you in that direction?
That person could tell you the word you need to hear to change your life.
Everybody needs some mentors out there, my friends. Everybody. Even a mentor has a mentor, you know? So be nice. You don't got to be fucking negative all the time and think everybody's out to get you. Some people think everybody's out to get them.
Paranoid.
Yeah, that's some kind of paranoia shit. So, I mean, be nice for once in your fucking negative life. That's the topic of this because there's a lot of you guys out there. I know you don't really want to do that, but you do it anyways. Could be a little psychological, a little jealousy, a little envy. But guys, trust me, the other side feels so much better.
If you'd like to submit topics to be discussed in the portion of In Your Face, please write us to momo@themomozone.com.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're ready. You're ready for the serious shit.
The letters used in this segment of This Is Serious Shit are taken from the momozone.com email fan base. If you'd like Momo to choose your email to be answered on the air, please specify it and write to momo@themomozone.com. Our first letter is this one.
L'amour. Hi, Momo. I've just started watching your videos and I'm enjoying them. I've been trying to improve my outlook on life, like many others, and seem to find that all my problems lead back to love. I don't believe in it, and I think it is the reason that I'm unable to enjoy life. I love animals, but not humans. I understand family love, but not friends love or true love. It means absolutely nothing to me. I even refuse to say it, and it bugs the hell out of me if I have to write it on a card. Yes, Valentine's Day is hell for me. How can I start to believe in it? Sincerely, sick of love.
Sick of love. You can be sick of love.
I've never really heard of something like that. I mean, I know some people are not that, open to love, but to actually hate it and want to have nothing to do with it, that seems like a pretty serious problem. Most humans want to do everything to gain love and avoid pain. So let's break this down and figure out what it could be, right?
Take out your tools and let's break it up.
This is obviously got something to do with his past, maybe, like nobody ever really showed him love. When I was growing up, I used to kiss my parents goodnight. I used to kiss my grandfather's hand. Most people here in North America, I never seen them do that. Growing up, I was felt kind of weird, when I used to see my friends kind of see me kissing my father on both cheeks, goodbye and stuff. I was saying, oh man, they're going to think this is some weird shit,
I had the same thing with my father.
Some people, like some friends of mine I've seen, man, they've never kissed their parents. No real hugs, no real nothing. So
I'm thinking of reverse psychology. If I say I don't like love, it actually is because I crave love.
I think so. So we got to find a solution for this guy. I think it's got something to do maybe with the fact that he can't express himself. If you can't express yourself, then maybe you're afraid to show love and accept it.
And he's probably afraid of rejection also.
Maybe the rejection factor is so strong.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
That the potential love or accepting love or showing love is just canceled out.
I think it's like when you're allergic. He should put himself in contact with what he's afraid of.
Well, let's start simple, okay? Before we get into the word full-blown love, let's just try showing some emotion.
You like someone.
Say, if you like someone, say you got to have a friend.
Tell them you like them.
Yeah, tell them that you appreciate.
Okay, appreciate, like, love. Okay, let's go by step.
I really appreciate your friendship, say, right? And you can go up and you give them a hug. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, we just did that before. We just said, man, I really appreciate everything everything we do for each other. We hugged each other.
Yeah, but that guy is probably not there yet.
I know, but you got to try that. Okay, so if hugging a guy
It's too much.
is too much for you to handle, then you got to do that with a girl. And with a girl, this is where it gets a little touchier, because if you go out and you hug and something, it could be a friend, that could be fine. I've got lots of friends, like my assistant Christina downstairs. She's so sweet, and whenever we see each other, big hug. You know what I mean?
But there's nothing wrong there.
There's nothing wrong there. So I think, try that. Some physical contact. And if you can't show love, what happens when you're trying to make love, or you're hanging out with, with a woman on a more intimate level? Then what happens?
Just could be sex.
It just could be sex. So I think this really boils down to fucking rejection.
So he's got to put himself in a situation where he can desensitize himself against what he's feeling right now for love.
Don't put no pressure on yourself. Maybe the word love and the expectations of love have really, put a kind of a damper in front of you, a shutdown switch. Just lighten up, have fun, and just show some appreciation. Thank you. I had a great time.
Opening up.
Yeah, just at that basic level. It was real. I had real fun doing this with you. Go out to see a movie with somebody, right? Enjoy something together with somebody, and then when you go have your coffee afterwards or something, discuss it and watch how that feeling goes. You'll have common elements, common feelings, and then it's like, yeah, I had a great time. Thank you very much, Eric. And then that'll start the feeling of acceptance.
What you're saying right now is that he's going to plant seeds that are going to grow, will be a bush and then a tree, and, eventually he will feel good with this.
And then you'll understand love.
Second letter.
Trust and confidence. Momo, I really hope that you read this because I am in desperate need of help. I'm having issues in my marriage. My wife has been less than faithful and lied to me a lot, and I'm having some real trust and confidence issues. Since this happened, I have been really depressed. It has made me question whether anyone can love me at all. My self-confidence is shot, and I have all but given up on my music. I believe she is my soulmate, and I want to be with her for the rest of my life, but I'm not sure how to let go of what happened and to be the person that I'm supposed to be. I am miserable. I just don't know what to do now. I try so hard to be positive every day. Those thoughts and anger force themselves in my head. Please, Momo, I need advice. Where do I go from here?
I feel for that person because I've lived exactly what he's saying.
So what, you had somebody that was unfaithful to you?
My first wife, we had a problem of faithfulness, if I can say, and you feel like shit. When you know that, man, it's terrible.
The way I like to look at this is pretty simple. You have to weigh the pros and the cons. If she's your soulmate, then you have to say, forgiveness is the word. Can you forgive?
Pretty hard.
Yeah, I think it's hard, but I've been in situations like that before as well, in my younger and stupider days, and you quickly realize that there's only, what I like to say, and this is going to sound rude, people, but there's only a cock and a hole. And if you think that for that moment or those moments or that time that you have pleasure with somebody, that is the sum of everything that a relationship is about, it's not. That was a moment, something that happened out of passion, out of stupidness, out of you were drunk, something happened, you do it. It could be a mistake. It doesn't mean that you're
a fling.
It could be a fling, or you also maybe have to look at it as maybe there was something wrong in your relationship that wasn't happening, so it made that person go there. But that is also an opportunity, okay, especially if he says that it's her soulmate. You could maybe work it out and accept, because really at the end, all it means is that there was some kind of skin interaction, and we don't even know how deep that went or what the hell happened, but it could have been just what it is. So why would you give up that person for something like that? What happened if that person, had sex with somebody before they were with you? So it's not like these people have never been touched by anyone else. I find that guys, they got really stuck up on all this shit about, about the sex, the titties, the holes, the dick, whose dick was bigger? Did he make you fucking feel better than me? Did you scream louder? This is the problem with guys, because that's the shit that's in their head.
They're comparing themselves, and they should not.
That's why I'm saying, guy, I'm telling you, if she's your soulmate, here's what you do. Sit her down and say, look, I'm really uncomfortable with what happened. I can't tell you. It's going to be really hard for me to forget, but let's discuss this and help me forget it, and let's work it out, and I want to go forward if you want to go forward.
Yeah.
You got to know that first.
But I got to tell him it's a make or break.
It's a make or break situation.
It's not a middle situation.
But I do believe that things can be worked out like that, because people have broken up and they've gotten back together, and that's just the way life goes. But if they're your soulmate and there's more that you enjoy with this person than not, then I think you need to try and fix it. Be honest.
Dear Momo, I've miraculously stumbled on your Advantages channel and was inspired to write you. Perhaps your response would be my aha moment. I'll start by saying that it seems like I have lost it all. I was an honor roll student with great potential, and suddenly everything began falling apart. I was failing in school, in relationships, and I just stopped giving a shit about it all. I was a biology student at the University of Western Ontario, and just frantically, I fucked it all up. So I decided to drop out before I get kicked out. I know that I'm smart, but I'm still trying to figure out why I just started fucking up everything. I found out that I got accepted into Cleveland Med School, but I can't be admitted now. They are going to find out that I have not finished my diploma and will take back their decision. Logically, I need to find out why I've given up like that. Until I do, I will be stuck in this I don't give a fuck phase, which I loathe. Do you have any suggestions on why someone would decide not to care about something they've worked so hard for and spent an extensive amount of time on? I really appreciate what you do. Cheers.
I call this sabotage.
Sabotage and possibly fear of success.
Yeah, exactly.
So, look, this has happened to us before, and many people that I've seen, you put so much work into something, and all of a sudden you say, shit, man, I don't even want to do this anymore. That's a couple of reasons that could happen. It could happen because you're working with other people, and then you let those other people kind of bring you down, from the situation, and you get disappointed, and you try again, and it doesn't work, and then you finally just give up.
Or is it your inner voice also? She could be doing something that she doesn't really want to do.
It depends why they got into that in the first place. So
Could
let's
it be
say
pressure from parents, from friends, and stuff?
Exactly. So let's say your mother and father wanted you to be a doctor. I'm so proud you're going to be a doctor, and you started in that thing, and you were going, and you realized that shit, I don't even enjoy this. It's possible that you can change, but I guarantee you that through everything that you learned, there is things you're going to be able to use in anything else you choose to do. Anybody who studied all that amazing stuff for sure has learned.
It's not lost.
No, it's not lost. It's never lost. But as to why that could be happening, look, fear of success. You say your relationships also are kind of suffering. Why is that? Because you're disappointed that you're not completing your other tasks? It's possible. And then you drag that on to your, to your partner because you're depressed and you're fucked up and you got to lean on somebody. But don't do that. What you got to do is sit down and ask yourself a very important question. Am I really not wanting to do this because I can't stand it anymore? Or is it because of the pressure that you're under, for the tests, and you already got accepted, but you didn't go? Did you fall on, are you smoking? Are you doing some drugs? Are you drinking? Trying to figure yourself out? What's going on?
There's something there for sure.
Just figure it out. Ask yourself a very important question. Go back and say, why do I not like this anymore? Is it because you hate it or you're afraid of completing the task? I think that you can make it happen. Let me know what goes on.
For more kick-ass motivational tips, don't miss Momo's videos on youtube.com/TheMomoZone. If you'd like to submit your problem to Momo, please write at momo@TheMomoZone.com.
Oh, yeah.
You are listening to The Momo Show, the kick-ass motivator, starring Momo from The MomoZone and controversial radio personality, Eric Remy. Momo's prescription of the week. Keep it short and sweet.
Keep it short and sweet. Please, Momo, tell me you're not talking about my anatomy.
Keep it short and sweet. No, some people like to talk a lot. I'm one of them.
Yes.
I get to the point. But really, at the end of the day, I find that when you want to get something done, just get right to the point. You can leave out a lot of the details. You love somebody, you feel something, you walk up to them and say, dude, I love you. Have a
Don't
great
make a
day.
big scene out of it. Just do it.
Yeah, get it out of the way. And if you keep things short and sweet, you can actually get more stuff done in a day. Less thinking, more action, more reactions.
Do you feel that people don't know how to cut, in their feeling? Do you feel that people have problem with this?
Keeping things short and sweet, some people don't express themselves enough and they say nothing. Or a couple of grunty, caveman words or something, that doesn't really hold value to them, and then they feel dumb and useless. But other people, they just keep flapping their beak and saying the same thing over and over again in many different ways. So what we got to do is just keep it short and sweet. Go right to the point. Say, you know what? This has been a great fucking show, Eric. And we're about to wrap this fucker right now because our timer says we have 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and we're sticking to the rule.
Really? So we're going to keep it short and sweet. Before ending this show, I'd like to remind our listeners that you can join the Momo Show group on Facebook, that you can also follow us on Twitter. If you have friends and family members that you probably know that they need their life to be straightened up, don't hesitate to suggest them to download our free weekly podcast on iTunes. We will gladly kick them in the ass. We're specialists.
Right in the ass. Like, kick a family member in the ass. We will do that for you.
In the meantime, we give you rendezvous next week.
Oh, yeah.
If you have appreciated this free podcast of The Momo Show, don't forget to click on the subscribe button located in the iTunes menu of the show. Please take time to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. And why not add your comments? High marks will help us increase our ratings and visibility on iTunes top podcasts. And of course, will entice other podcasters like you to join in. If you need more kick in the ass, don't miss Momo's videos on YouTube at youtube.com/TheMomoZone. If you'd like to drop us a line, feel free to write to momo@themomozone.com.
On behalf of Momo, this is Rick Remy inviting you for our next podcast of The Momo Show. Have yourself a kick-ass week, and thanks for your support.